South Carolina advancing to their 11th straight Sweet 16, but the road here to Birmingham, Alabama was certainly not an easy one for the Gamecocks, who had to overcome an Indiana team who brought a strong defense to the final game of the year at Colonial Life Arena on Sunday. And the team they're going up against now in the Maryland Terps, well, they didn't have it easy either. They had a double overtime thriller against Alabama on Monday. Chloe, after the game yesterday, a lot of you were talking about in practice today, you want to reestablish that chemistry, get back in sync. What does that look like? Is that more of just an internal motivation, conversations you're having with each other, or is it something physically that you guys will work out in practice today?
I feel like it's a little bit of both.
Another double-double yesterday. You've been in this moment in the Elite Eight before. How would you compare your mentality this year to maybe past years that you think have allowed you to be playing so consistently?
I feel like my team needs me more than ever.
What can you say about being able to dig deep in those close scoring games and still come out on top?
I honestly think we spoiled them last year. I think, that undefeated season, they expect that to happen this year, but it's a whole new team.
So in that way, how does this Final Four feel different for you personally?
It means so much to me because, like I said, it was not easy. Like, we had to fight for these wins.
I had the chance to talk to some of the on-air broadcasters from ESPN who cover these teams all year long. And, of course, we specifically asked them about the matchup between South Carolina and Texas. But we also talked to them about how the sport is growing and how aiding that is part of their job. On the broadcast, you, Holly, and Rebecca have to tell the stories of these players and these teams and paint a picture in about 2 hours of who these teams are. How much is telling the stories of these teams and these players important to growing the game?
I love that question, and I think it is critical.
Because you guys have had to maybe work a little harder, fight a little harder, how does this one maybe mean more to you?
I think it is going to mean a lot more to us because it wasn't easy.
You've probably seen a free little library before, but have you ever seen one that only has books about women in sports? Well, it's fitting that something like this is in Tampa, Florida. Because just as this is opening the door to the stories of women in sports, so do the doors to Amalie Arena as it hosts the NCAA Women's Basketball Final Four. UConn and the Huskies are one game away from securing the program's 12th national championship. Gino Auriemma, well, he's 11-1 in the title games. That one loss handed down by none other than South Carolina back in 2022. South Carolina Gamecocks, they were obviously emotional in the locker room today, but Joyce Edwards, who I just mentioned, she says she now knows what it feels like to lose and she doesn't want to be here again. Reporting live from Amalie Arena, I'm Claire Foley. The UConn Huskies just finished cutting down the net after winning the program's 12th national championship over the defending champion South Carolina Gamecocks, 82-59. A storybook ending for Paige Becker's career as the senior gets to walk away a national champion right before she's expected to be the #1 pick in the WNBA draft. Paige, when I saw you practicing the other day, your whole team, it just felt like you guys were carrying yourselves as national champions. Can you talk about how your preparation maybe led to being more comfortable and loose and just confident and ready for the moment?
Yeah, I think there was a lightness to our team this tournament run. I was telling Coach this run felt more different than anyone that I've been on in terms of the confidence, the lightness, the vibe that we kept cool and just served the moment. A swan song for the senior that's the top scorer in Husky history in tournament play and third all-time in career scoring. Gino Auriemma already atop the leaderboard in most national championships for a head coach in women's basketball. He adds to that now with 12. Reporting from Amalie Arena, I'm Claire Foley. Watch Fox Sports.